Good Friday. Good Friday is the day where we commemorate the crucifixion and death of Jesus Christ, which is 2 days before Easter Sunday. Now, historically speaking, in the first century in Roman Judea, under the governance of Pontius Pilate, and according to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Jesus was arrested after the Last Supper in the Garden of Gethsemane Thursday last night and tried by Jewish religious authorities, by Herod, and then by the Roman prefect, and ultimately sentenced to death by crucifixion, which is a Roman method that was primarily reserved for rebels and criminals. Now, the scriptural account as to what happened is that after the arrest in Gethsemane, Jesus was brought before the Sanhedrin, accused of blasphemy, and then he was handed over to Pontius Pilate. Reportedly, though, Pilate found no fault in him, but public pressure led to his condemnation. Jesus was scourged, mocked, forced to carry his own cross to Golgotha, meaning place of the skull, where he was crucified along two criminals. Crucifixion was a slow and agonizing death. Nails were driven through your hands and your feet, and you're left there to suffocate, gradually, very gradually. Above him was the inscription, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. While he was on the cross, Jesus spoke what is called the 7 words from the cross. Traditionally, it's known as 7 statements, and they are remembered as such. 1, Father, forgive them, expressing mercy towards his executioners. 2, today you will be with me in paradise, which was spoken to the repentant thief. 3, woman, behold your son. Son, behold your mother, when he entrusted Mary to John. My God, why have you forsaken me? Which is a cry of anguish, which was from Psalm 22. He said, I thirst, reflecting physical suffering and fulfillment of prophecy. He said, it is finished, declaring completion of his mission. And then finally, number 7, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit, which was the final surrender before death. These sayings reflect forgiveness, suffering, fulfillment of prophecy, and trust in God. And we had events at the moment of his death as well. The gospel described extraordinary phenomena according to accompanying his death. We had darkness which covered the land from noon until 3 p.m., symbolizing mourning or divine judgment. The temple veil inside was torn from top to bottom, separating the Holy of Holies from the temple, which signifying in Christian theology a direct access to God, no longer restricted by the priestly class. We had an earthquake which shook the land, and in Matthew's account, tombs were opened and the dead were raised at that time. A Roman centurion witnessing these events said, truly this man was the Son of God. Now, after his death, Jesus' body was taken down from the cross by Joseph of Arimathea and placed inside of a tomb. A large stone was rolled across to seal the entrance, and guards were set, according to Matthew's account, to prevent tampering and stealing of the body. Good Friday is called good, not because of the suffering itself, but because we believe it represents the ultimate act of sacrifice and salvation. Redemption, the moment where sin and death are confronted through Jesus' willing suffering and defeated, and granting us the gift of salvation. A day like today is marked by solemn reflection, silence, and reverence, standing in contrast to the hope and the triumph which will be celebrated on Easter Sunday, which will signify his resurrection. I tried to keep this as brief as possible, but thank you all for listening. God bless you. Have a blessed Good Friday.